Well, hello and welcome to Qlik Spotlight. Now we have a special version of Qlik Spotlight today, and I had the very great pleasure of introducing JP Kirton from BI Experts. Welcome, JP.
Hi, John. How are you?
And thank you for spending the time and getting involved in Qlik Spotlight. Okay, I know about your company, but a lot of people may not. So explain a little bit about EBI Experts and your role there, what you do there.
Okay, so ebiexperts we specialize in source control, quality management, publication management, and audits within your BI platform and around your BI assets that you have within the platform. So we provide a agile lifecycle management product called WIP, which manages all your work in progress. So WIP, WIP, around your BI platform and BI assets. So we manage anything and everything around a file, basically what you would call an application in Qlik View or Qlik Sense. So we integrate to both platforms.
So you give like a life cycle around that, so you can see what's happened to that file before and an audit.
Exactly, all the changes down to the detail. So you can it's anything that has happened. Who's checked the file out? Who's made what changes to what script? Who's moved objects? And also the file assets. So if you have in a Qlik Sense environment, for instance, you would have extensions, etc., that you need to manage around your file. We manage all of those as well.
Okay, and your role? Sorry, JP, I interrupted you.
Yeah. So I'm the CEO of the company. So I primarily work with the different teams within the organization. So your marketing, our partner management team, our development team, and making sure that we execute our strategic objectives, and that of course we get the value to the customer and the returns based on our investments.
Excellent. So, I mean, the reason that we're chatting now is I met one of your people at the Masters Summit in Philadelphia. So you're investing a lot of time and sending someone out because you're based in South Africa. So that's a bit of a thing to send them from South Africa to there. So your involvement with Qlik, you are investing the time. And how long have you been involved with Qlik? When did you start sort of looking at the product?
So I started with Qlik in 2004. So if my math doesn't fail me, that's about 15 years. So we at that time we did an OEM with Qlik for my then employer, which was also a software company.
Okay, and that's how I got involved with Qlik as well. So I worked for an OEM company called Dendrite, who were a CRM for pharmaceuticals, so that's quite interesting. And that was back in, I think, my first training manual on Qlik View was Qlik View version 5. And that's probably around about the time, isn't it? Where you
it's 4 or 5. I mean, it's been so many years, but I mean, even then the technology was amazing, and it still is. So it's definitely fantastic tech.
That's good. So you're based out of South Africa. And I'm sure you get this question asked a lot. But would you say, and I've been to South Africa probably 5 or 6 times, Johannesburg and Cape Town, etc. A wonderful, beautiful country, by the way. I must say that.
Thank you.
But would you say that the industry is any different in South Africa, or would that be maybe people's perception outside? What's your feeling on that?
I wouldn't say so. So we operate internationally. Of course, we're the sales and marketing. We are doing that out of South Africa. Our development team sits in Switzerland, so we're an international company. So it's in South Africa. If I had to speak about us here locally, I would say that it's Qlik is doing really well in the market. So they cross industry, of course, and small and large organizations alike. We've recently partnered with the local master reseller, South Africa Qlik master reseller for the continent. So that's super great for us. I mean, we get them as a distributor for our product across the whole continent. So we're working really closely and well with them for this region. Then I would say that South Africa is an amazing country, but the business here is also quite good. So the businesses here are very progressive and innovative. So we've had really great sessions with our partners and with our with the Qlik guys and with our customers locally to improve our products. So we've had good discussions, good recommendations, and we've improved our product features and functionality through those engagements. So from a South African point of view, I would say that it's more than likely not different from an industry point of view, but definitely from a progressive and innovative point of view.
There's a lot going on, isn't there? It is an incredibly vibrant marketplace. I mean, my first trip out to South Africa would have been probably now before I was at Qlik, so it'd be like 13, 14 years ago.
Okay.
And the changes that I've seen, even to the area that I went to, which was Santon's, it was Discovery Healthcare. I don't know if you've heard of Discovery Healthcare. Yeah, I was working out of there and staying in Santon Square, and even that has changed, and that was one of the centers, I think, of technology, was around that area then. So without saying I should be on the South African Tourist Board, I would definitely recommend anyone who's here to definitely get out there.
Yeah,
now,
it's a beautiful
questions
country.
come to mind, and apologies, JP, it's not on your list.
Yes.
And I did warn you I might do this. So
of course, hit me.
we are as a company, as Qlik as a company, very much focusing around the subscription way to go. How is that whole thing going within your company? You can discuss it at a regional level if you want, or a company level. What are your feelings around the whole subscription journey?
I think it's an essential part of any price list. Let's start there. It is an offering that with everything moving to cloud, etc., and the way that IT and companies engage with vendors and products, it's a must-have. Of course, it puts the onus on the product developer, which I do believe is a good thing. So you've got to be able to compete properly for your business, and you've got to be able to retain that business. We've seen companies that did well that kind of lost the plot, went backwards, and then they still expect customers to pay the maintenance, for instance. In a subscription model, you don't have that. The maintenance is included. It's part for the course, and you have to keep on adding the value to the customer for him to stay your customer. So I think it's a great thing.
It's very easy to walk away, isn't it? And that's the one thing. It's very easy to then say, well, okay, you haven't delivered this month, so I'll just go elsewhere. That's
exactly. Not so easy maybe in the BI space, because there's a huge investment in hardware and the environments and everything like that. But essentially, yes, I mean, they can stop paying for that license and migrate everything.
Yeah. So that's so it's exciting, but also it has its own challenges as well, doesn't it?
Of course, yes.
And in your experience, specifically in BI, and I think I know the answer to this question, but I'll answer it anyway. So across the industries, of course, each industry has its own requirements, but do you feel yourself that you have to drastically change each way you approach, let's say, pharmaceutical or public sector?
So Qlik would, for certain. So Qlik would have to do that. Us, not so much, because we're in our space. What does differ is the complexity. The people, the products, the environments, the applications. And the complexities across those. So for us, we don't change our approach. There's a value proposition which is to manage your work. Okay, so whether you're in pharmaceutical, whether you're in banking, whether you have to manage your work, you have to make sure that you follow, you do control your whole process, and that the end result is in the right environment and of the right quality. So that's what we do. So what does different is my apologies. What does differentiate is the people, and how the people and the different teams and things work together, and the quality of work that they are delivering to their stakeholders. So WIP, obviously our product, takes care of all of that. It manages that application and its assets from inception to retirement. So we structure the work, and we make sure that the right people can do the right things, and they are deploying quality applications into the right environments.
So actually, your product and your services make it easier no matter what industry you're in because you're able. Yeah, it works in all.
Absolutely, yeah.
So if someone, and I'm sure you have competition out there, and I'm sure they're not as good as you, obviously. But
Thanks,
if
John.
so, if you're sat in a room then, and you've got three of your competition there, what do you think differentiates you from your competition?
Well, of course, we all know each other and features and functionality and all of that stuff uh,
Yeah.
uh, uh, quite well. So I would say that it's certainly our approach to how we engage with our customer, and our whole value proposition is around agile and
Mm.
agile development, and it's around collaboration. So this is where we differentiate the source control piece, the version control, the audits, the comparisons, the lineage, the impact, all of that
Mm.
stuff is pretty standard. I mean, different variations of the same thing. But our approach and the way that you work with your assets and your people within our product is where we certainly
Yeah.
differentiate. So we really have taken the agile and collaborative approach to your work. Yeah.
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 Go on. Sorry.
No. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Because I mean, we've always said at Qlik is, and I know when you get an RFI or an RFP to come in, is if you go down to tick boxes, then it's very difficult, isn't it?
Yeah.
So to do this function, this feature, this function, this feature. But then when you look at the companies themselves and what they deliver, and you mentioned agile there, and that's incredibly important, is to
Yes.
deliver on time
Yes.
and to make sure that what you're delivering is useful at that time and not what was useful 6 months ago.
Yeah, and
So
easy to
yeah,
use.
very
So UX, the way that you engage with the product, the user experience is very important. It should be really
mm,
easy to find what you're looking for, to do what you're trying to accomplish, seamlessly. So that's our focus, and that is where we differentiate. And of course, we
yeah,
have a very modern platform. So
yeah.
that from our competitors, that's also where we would
So how does the
differentiate.
platform differ? You say a modern platform. Just give me a
Yeah.
little bit more detail on what you mean about that.
So we have a database engine that drives
Mm,
the whole show. So you can run it on the SQL or Oracle or MySQL environment. But then we have the web front end, which is built in Angular and different new age web technologies. So
right, right.
it looks great, it works great, it's stable. You
Mm,
can deploy it in different environments. If you're looking at workloads, for instance, you can deploy your database in one Kubernetes, and your
yeah. You mean Kubernetes? That's an exciting technology, isn't it?
yeah, definitely. So you can split the various components of the
Mm.
architecture as well. So that's why I say it's a modern technology,
Yeah, and we're
cloud-based.
looking at that within Qlik itself. The Kubernetes and distributed architecture
Absolutely.
it just makes like life a lot easier.
Yes.
So
Yes.
the industry that we're in, or the BI industry, obviously within your role, you will take a very strategic look at your company and its offerings. How do you think, looking a little bit over the horizon, how do you think things will evolve over the next few years?
Yeah, it's complete madness, technology madness at the
Yes.
moment. So the good thing is, we also, we know Qlik through and through. So
Mm.
but I do. If you look at what's happening in the industry, it is very much cloud, right? So cloud is the big
Yeah.
opportunity. I mean, it's massive. So we expect a lot of our customers also to come with a cloud first strategy.
Yeah.
And naturally, our product supports this. So you can deploy us in cloud, you can deploy us on premise. It doesn't matter. I think what we discussed before, the workload, so whether it's Docker or
Yeah.
Kubernetes, the real opportunities there to scale and to run microservices, etc. I
Mm.
think that what we see in artificial intelligence, data automation, and all of that will definitely look how well we are looking at how we can leverage that in our
Yeah.
products as well. Uh, especially for administrators. So your growth and predictions around growth. For instance, but I
Yeah.
don't want to give too many secrets away. But
No.
so I think that those things definitely But we'll continue to invest, of course, in the quality assurance capabilities that we have.
Yeah, the whole AI and NLP and natural language
Yes.
is important. Now I'm old enough to remember a piece of software called Dragon that was the voice recognition
Yeah,
software.
I do.
Yeah, and it
I'm
was
old enough
horrible
to remember that as well. Yeah, and it
and it
worked.
was
I mean, it worked. So
it
yeah,
was it
yeah,
worked unless you had a very strong accent. Then there were
exactly.
the issues.
Yeah,
But this is taking that whole thing to another new level, isn't it? So we've gone through touch and gestural and all that kind of stuff, and now just the ability in your normal language to be able to ask questions and for it to understand and come
yes,
back, not just with your answer, but the other suggestions to say, what about this? What about that? What is it's it's fascinating. What makes me really love this industry is the way that the way that it does change like that.
yeah.
It's fascinating.
I
So
think there's maybe two more things. The one is
yeah, of course.
the embedded technology in the BI space. That's going to be
Yeah,
huge. Okay, so that it is already very big. So but for us, it's about managing those assets around and deployed assets around your Qlik file, and we do that. So your embedded elements, and we manage the versioning and everything on that as well. And then of
yeah,
course the you know, we expect that with the latest, augmented data, artificial intelligence,
yeah, yeah.
if you're looking at your recommendation engines and your predictive modeling, etc., using, sorry, I hit a complete blank there, but using
That's okay.
artificial intelligence, we expect the data and the complexity of the files to increase, right?
Yeah,
So that's why we will continue to work on our product that you properly manage, and we can continue to ensure the quality of the applications that we put into your different environments, like
yeah.
your QA development and production environments.
It's and it's great to have partners like yourself out there because and this is something hopefully that comes back to you that we invest the time in. And here's another question that's not on your list again that's come to mind. Just shows
Yep.
that I think it's data literacy.
Yeah.
We talk about software, we talk about technology, we talk about products and solutions, etc. But what do you think about that whole? If you can give as many tools to someone, but if they don't have an understanding or not literate with that data, it's actually there. Not there's no point, but it's much more powerful joining those tools and those people together if they understand what the data is. What are your thoughts, JP, about that?
It's essential, So
Mm,
from a BI point of view, it's an absolute must-have. So
mm,
data literacy, it's not just about data; it's also subject matter literacy,
yeah,
etc.
yeah,
So you can't just take data, of course, but the data literacy is essential in the BI world. I think Qlik is doing great, like really great in pushing that hard internationally because the
mm,
numbers, the statistics are
yeah,
super scary, right? So and we see this, So BI is generally failing, to scale and to get the volume usage and value out of it because the literacy isn't there. So it's an
mm.
essential part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. So
Yeah.
JP, what keeps you up at night then? What you at the end of the day you're trying to relax and we all
Yeah.
do this. We all got this stuff going around in our mind. What keeps you up at night?
My four-legged children and my wife. No, just kidding.
Yes,
No,
good
no.
answer.
I suppose it's always going to be a question of where to invest next. We're not a company that have unlimited resources. There's lots of opportunities. So for me, as the CEO or spearheading the organization, it's always about where to invest, where can we generate the most value for the customer and
Mm,
our partners. What's happening in different countries, etc. So we're always looking where can we generate the most value and where should we invest next.
mm.
Even yeah, so that's always something to consider even
Yeah.
at night time when
Ex-
I'm supposed to be sleeping.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So we're coming to the end of the interview. So
Well, okay,
what?
great.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
See, and you were worried, and it's all been right as rain. But 2019. we're just at the beginning of it now. What, January the 17th, we're recording this interview.
Yes.
What are your plans for 2019? And that can be both, for EBI experts and also personally.
Okay, so well, I mean, we're going to continue our drive in internationalization. So we're always looking to partner with all the partners that work with Qlik across the globe. So we're looking to drive, continue that partnership drive. So if there's any partners that are looking for a great source control product, please get in contact with us. Our new release, of course, that's always exciting for us. A lot of work and effort, and lots and lots of improvements to the way we test and manage the product have been implemented. And with our next release in March, we will also release our new product support, which is for end printing. It's a great business for Qlik, and we'll be able to also manage your end printing templates. With, of course, there's going to be some really cool features and functionality being deployed with that release. And then, I expect that the plan for us is to build a new product for Qlik during this year as well. So we'll kick that off in the plan is in April, May. But still very hush at this point, of course. You did mention that we do have those competitors. Then. Yeah, that'll be great, John. Thanks.
Yeah, I'd like to do that. Okay. Well, and personally, what, you got any big holidays lined up, or anything? Any milestones, any marathons or triathlons you're going to run?
Yeah, we're going to no. Please no. So I mean, personally, I think that I'm a workaholic, so I love what I do. I have to, because I'm a workaholic. So we just came out of our holiday season, so it's knuckling down.
Of course, yes.
Really, yeah. For me, it's knuckling down and really getting all our objectives properly defined for this year. Finalizing this year's budget strategy, etc. And kicking it off. In
so an exciting 2019 then.
Say again.
An exciting 2019.
I expect, yes, both from an innovation, new product, and existing product development point of view. Yes.
Fantastic. Well, JP, I do thank you so much for getting involved in this, and I do hope to see you again, maybe at Connections. Who knows?
Yes, definitely. So thanks, John. Thanks for the opportunity, and thank you everybody for watching. And get in contact with us.
It's been an absolute pleasure, and we'll chat again in the future.
Thanks, John. I appreciate it.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.